Sure.
No, it's about.
Oh, sorry. Did you sign? Did you guys sign down here in my pen? Yes, could I use a pen? Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to just read the public hearings conducted by our planning, South Torrance Planning Board bylaws. The chairperson calls a hearing to order, determines whether there's a quorum. The chairperson may announce rules of order, either Robert's rules or deemed applicable, his or her sole discretion, the whole calling the hearing to order. The chairperson describes the purpose of the hearing and the nature of the case, general procedures to be followed, including but not limited to speaking time allotted, and applicant's interested parties and public and other procedural matters. The board decides whether the applicant has sufficient right, title, interest to appear before the board. The board states the jurisdiction over the application. The board determines which individuals attending the hearing are interested parties. Interested parties are those persons who request to offer testimony, evidence, and participate in oral cross-examination or would be directly and adversely affected by the board's decision. Interested parties may be requested by the board to consolidate their joint appearances in part or in whole, if their interests are subsequently similar, such as consolidation would expedite the hearing. The code officer shall be automatically made part of the proceedings. Interested parties will be required to state for the record their names, residence, business, professional affiliation, nature of their interest in the hearing, whether they represent another individual, firm, association, organization, partnership, trust company, corporation, state agency, or other legal entity for the purpose of the hearing. The chairperson shall incorporate into the record correspondence, reports filed with the board prior to the hearing. Material shall be available to the town office and public inspection. The applicant is given the opportunity to represent his or her case without interruption. The board may ask questions of the applicant, and interested parties may ask questions of the applicant through the chairperson. The interested parties are given the opportunity to represent their testimony, starting with the proponents, followed by the opponents. The board may call its own witness, such as a code officer, planner, or any consultant. The applicant may ask questions of interested parties, and the board interested party witness through the chairperson. All parties are given the opportunity to review statements made throughout the hearing through the chairperson. If you got a question, raise your hand. The board shall receive comments, questions from observers who wish to express their views. Chairperson may limit individuals' time to facilitate every party's comments. If time limits are imposed by one observer, shall be extended to all observers in fair, equitable fashion. The hearing is closed after the parties have been heard. If additional time is needed, the hearing may be continued to a later date. All interested parties shall be notified the date, time, place, continued hearing, and the reason for the continuance. Upon such request made prior to the or during the hearing, the chairperson may permit persons participating in any hearing pursuant to these bylaws to file written statements with the board for inclusion into the record and conclusion of the hearing after the conclusion of the hearing, with such time upon notification to be other participants as the chairpersons may require. Board members and consultants may represent their findings at any public meeting prior to the decision being finalized. That's all. So basically, you can. How many people think they want to speak tonight? So we got. Okay, I'm not going to limit the time. It's only a few. Raise your hand. And reason the board has already looked at this proposed rock quarry. Okay, it is within the zone, South Thompson for mineral exploration. So it's an allowed use, okay? So that's what's, we have to go by what's in our ordinances. And where he wants to have his rock quarry is an allowed use area, okay? So I just wanted to bring that up. So with all that, I would like, you have a forum now, Richard's here, so we can get started with the meeting 6:05. And I'd like to start with what we're here is Travis Wilson has moved his business from the village site here on Wilson's Way. There's about, I think, 1,200 feet out there, somewhere way back there. There's rock. He'd like to get the rock out for riprap, gravel, crush rock, whatever his needs are, whatever the people's needs are, his customers. So there will be some blasting. I think 3 times this year. One's just the initial one, and then it'd be limited to two blasts per year. And then he would be crushing out there. There's a big performance standard by the state that he has to comply with. Distances off of butters. We have a noise ordinance here in South Thompson, 65 decibels. So, and he has to keep the dust on his own property. So I think there's quite a big distance that he has to stay off the other person. With that, I'm gonna, the applicant does have sufficient right, he owns the land to go ahead for the board. And the board state we have jurisdiction over the application. I'm sure you're all interested parties because you're all here. So we'll listen to everybody. And then for that, I would like give Travis the floor so he can explain to you exactly what he wants to do.
Thanks, sir. Yes, we're looking to quarry rock on roughly 20 acres of our property.
Excuse me, Travis, could you face to us so we can hear you much better?
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Thank you. We own property down the road. We're looking to quarry rock on our property. The closest closest building is a quarter mile away from where our quarry site is.
Whoa.
Okay, you have
On
to,
speed.
No,
sir, you have to wait till he finishes. Let him finish his whole statement, please.
We've gone on maps, pulled up the closest residences, 1,200 feet from where we're gonna be pouring rock. It's in a bowl we're blasting a ledge outcropping. So we're in a bowl. There's one side towards Garrison Road that's open. We're gonna be putting a 30-foot tall berm of dirt there to deflect any sound that's going that way. Everything else, the sound can't get out. It's, everything around it's higher than where we're gonna be. It's a self-draining quarry. The water that basically falls from the sky into that area is gonna be going the same direction that it would anyway. So it's basically, you can envision like a large slope. We're just kind of taking that out, and everything that's gonna run off is gonna run off where it is anyway. Like Herb said, there's a big list of standards that's in this packet that DEP makes us comply by. They're gonna do at minimum annual inspections of the quarry. There's also MSHA, which is OSHA for mining. They're gonna be doing safety inspections, so dust hazards and that, they keep locked down to that. We'll be putting in sprinklers to minimize dust if that's a situation. Main drill and blasting, they do the majority of the blasting for Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Vermont, New York. They're professional. They're going to be doing water testing at 4 underground water testing at 4 locations around the blast site every time that they blast. Sure, most of you are here because you receive letters from Main Drill and Blasting. So they're going to be doing the water testing before and after blasting, along with my feet. Um, and yeah, right, first off, we need to kind of do a couple small blasts to get a base built, and then we're gonna do one big blast. And then it's once or twice a year, there'll be some blasts, and then it's just crushing and screening and making material. That's kind of all I got.
Thank you.
Can we pause for a second? I've been told Zoom's not working, so I'm gonna shut it down and.
Yeah, we can wait, we can pause for it.
I had to join the link. Got this error that says the host already has another meeting in progress. This is trying to follow the link that's posted both on the website and in the agenda.
The only little, the only one.
The library's doing something on that.
No.
Is the library,
It should be.
there's a whole big time library down there.